G'day everyone. Every experienced pedal builder has their nemesis, their nightmares. I know I've had a few. The small stone was one of them. Managed to get that one working after countless hours. In fact, that was probably the worst build I've ever done. It was probably my 10th build, and it was quite complex. But I did actually manage to get 2 of them working. This particular build, I spent quite a lot of time on, and it's a pretty good sounding overdrive. I built 2 of these as well, and they both actually sounded different, and I could not work out why they both sounded different, and I could not work out why they were both giving me intermittent problems. And I think sometimes you get to the point where you say to yourself, I've spent so many hours trying to get this thing to work. I could have built 5 other pedals while I'm messing around with this thing. It's a certain stubbornness inherent, I think, with just being a pedal builder, that you have to find what's wrong with it and you have to fix it. And having a determined attitude, I think, is a good thing, because you end up with a lot of pedals that work instead of a whole bunch of pedals that don't. But sometimes when you get a particular pedal that will just not cooperate and you've spent a lot of hours, you have to get to the point where you say to yourself, this is not working for me and I need to move on to something else. And this is the particular pedal in question. The Silver Bullet, you may remember the video of it. Sounded great. It was a very good sounding overdrive, but as I said, I had intermittent problems with it, and I built 2 and they both sounded different. I couldn't work out why one sounded totally different to the other one. Took voltages, fault diagnosing, hours and hours trying to work out what was wrong with it, and I just could not work out what the problem is. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to gut this thing, and you're going to watch me do it in disgust and see how all this work is going to be unraveled. And I want you to think about that pedal build that you've got lying around that you could not get working, and whether you should spend more time on it trying to get it to work. I'm not saying it's a good thing to give up. Like I said before, it's a good thing to be determined, but sometimes when you wasted hours and hours and hours trying to work out what's wrong with the pedal build, sometimes it's just better to move on to something else. And you might also say that it's a learning experience and you have to work out what's wrong with it, because once you work out what problem it is, you'll learn from it. I've fixed intermittent builds before, and I don't know what the hell it was I did that managed to fix it. But think of all the things I could have been learning instead of stuffing around with a pedal that didn't want to cooperate. So I'm taking my vengeance out on this thing. I'm thinking back to all those hours I spent trying to get it going, and I'm going to kill it. So that's it. I've taken the plunge, I've killed it, and I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of parts left over. It's not a total loss. These are Neutrik jacks. They're going to be easy enough for me to clean up and reuse. The pots should be easy enough to fix as well. 3-pole double throw might be a bit of a pain. I might do it, I don't know. These cases, I could strip them and start again with it. I don't know if I'll do that. I'll probably just throw them in the garage. If ever I come up with a layout that needs this whole configuration, then I'll reuse them probably, or I'll just chuck them. There's a few chips, ICs, a couple of chips that I socketed, some ICs, and a few nuts. No point keeping the DC jack, they're too cheap, and same with that. The LED with the bezel, they're too cheap to bother. And there's a whole bunch of passives on this thing that I wouldn't be bothered to remove. So that's it. This chapter of my life is over and I can move on. every time I open the cupboard to go to my parts box, I see it sitting there laughing at me, and this is what happens when you laugh at me. You get disassembled, and I mean that in the most psychopathic way possible. So anyway, that's it. The whole point of this video is so that you can reflect on that Nemesis build that you have and ask yourself, is it just causing you pain, and is it time to move on? We all have to move on at some point in our lives, and I just did. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more do-it-yourself guitar pedal torturing videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.